Hello, how are you doing? Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, we shouldn't shake hands. Okay. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about going to therapy. Why? Well, because I go to therapy now. I go to a lot of therapy. I actually go to individual therapy and couples therapy. So, um, just have some insights into that. I think a lot of people might be asking, why should I go to therapy? And the answer is you shouldn't, um, unless you think you need to. Um, it's not for everybody. Really think it's just like on an individual basis. Some people have somebody they could talk to, and that's great. Me being sort of like a solo artist, I found that I've needed somebody to talk to. I've needed that support. Um, yeah, I've just needed support, and um, I think sometimes the best way to get that is to pay for it, quite frankly. And I think there's some benefits to that. I mean, I go to therapy because I think I get like a perspective that I like the perspective from somebody that doesn't know me, and I'm able to sort of like bring in like a person that they're not aware of. I'm able to sort of influence that, and to me, it comes across as like at least the intention is to be unbiased. So I could appreciate that, and if there is a bias, you could kind of see that growing, and sort of like appreciate that as it's developing. Um, like this person has training, they have other clients. Uh, nothing really is in it for them, maybe other than like they don't want to lose you as a client. But I think if they are unbiased, like they could be more effective because of like the pay element of it. I think you could really I think they and you, the therapist and the person seeing the therapist, can really value the situation. I think the time element of it also like makes it such that like you also value that because you know you have so much time. Um, Presumably be consistent, like at least once a week. Um, so you know, like you go in there with like the objective of maximizing that time, and so in that you only have that time during that week, so you do end up really valuing it and like trying to bring to the table everything that like you personally need to talk about. And just getting back to the start of it, it's really about support. Like I said, like I'm someone that tends to be like on their own a lot, maybe like not having a lot of friends. Therefore, like it's like valuable for me to have that support, paid or otherwise. My advice for people is like to go into it with some goals. Um, like no like usually like you go into it because like you're have some particular issues, but from that issue like how do you want to feel? Say like if you were not to see this person anymore, how would you like to feel, or like how could you build like a bridge to like yeah, how could you build a bridge to like the next feeling that you want to feel or not feel? Or if you don't have a goal to bring in, work with your therapist to develop a goal. So today I just want to talk about therapy. I do think it's valuable to get that support that you need, particularly if you're like a type of person like me that's sort of like solo a lot and likes to be to himself, or maybe is introverted. I think it's like a good way to sort of get that support like in a constructive way. My other advice would be to if you're going to work with a therapist, go in with the mindset like they may or may not be the right person for you, and sort of evaluate them just like any other relationship. I think there will be people that sort of like are a good match for you, and there's going to be some people that are not. I've had a few therapists where I've just been like, just from the beginning, just like they haven't said anything, just the way they sort of like reacted to me. Like I felt like I probably couldn't work with that person, and I just went to find another one, and like it's worked out like great with the other person, because I think that's ultimately what you're trying to do too, like at least in my perspective, like one of the reasons I've went to a therapist in the past is because of relationships. And so the last thing I want to do is like start a relationship with a therapist that like I don't like from the get-go. I mean, it's a little bit like dating, where you're just like, is this person good? Like, is this person gonna understand me? Is this person not? Being a person of color, I've definitely like requested people like therapists of color, so like that's another option for you. Or gender wise, like sometimes I've wanted a male, sometimes I've wanted a female. You could definitely also look at like what their expertise is in. That's not something I've really done, but it's definitely something you could do. Also, I would definitely be honest about the pricing, the cost of it. It's not something you afford. You can see like if they'll be willing to negotiate on their price. I tend to go to like more sliding scale places and stuff like that, because when I paid a lot for therapy in the past, like I just didn't enjoy that dynamic. Perhaps if I was making a lot more money, like I feel like a different way about it, but at this particular point, like I'm not willing to pay a lot for it. Sometimes I just feel like I'm also like it's weird. Sometimes it gets weird in there, like where you feel like you're also benefiting the therapist. So like, I just think I think the cost has to be such that like you're feeling like you're getting value out of this interaction. So, I mean, that's really my perspective on therapy. I think it's worth doing. I think it's worth getting that perspective, that unbiased, that value-based support. Have some goals, bring them in, develop them, and just really be willing to like just really be willing to sort of filter until you get the therapist that you think is best for you. All right. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Let me know your sort of experience with therapists. Anything that you would add to this conversation. If you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe. Love to keep having these conversations with you guys, and keep improving on the videos, and hopefully you guys are getting some value out of this. Thank you.